rather than just hitting places like Belgrade, which only have a long-term effect when the crisis is now.
Mark Leahy in Brussels, thank you. Now, briefly, the rest of today's news. The Sinn Féin president, Gerry Adams, has described demands that the IRA begin handing over its weapons as provocative. Speaking at a rally in Dublin to commemorate the Easter Rising, Mr. Adams insisted that the IRA is under no obligation to disarm.
Using the platforms afforded by the ceremonies commemorating the 1916 Easter Rising, Sinn Féin leaders north and south of the border said the paused peace process was in crisis. In Dublin, the party president described as a provocation the unionist demand that IRA weapons be handed in before the full implementation of the Good Friday Agreement.
For the vast majority of people, the fact that the IRA guns are not in use is of immense significance. They recognise that the silence of these guns is a sign of the IRA's commitment to the search for a lasting and democratic peace settlement.
Sinn Féin argues that focusing narrowly on the decommissioning of arms plays into the hands of opponents of the agreement and puts the whole peace process in danger. In their Easter messages, the church leaders, Catholic and Protestant, were more optimistic, urging the politicians to persevere for peace.
The only way forward for a community that accepts the resurrection of Christ is the step of faith. Faith in ourselves, faith in our God, and ultimately faith in other people.
The political pause for reflection engineered at Hillsborough by the two governments has another 9 days to run. The Republican Easter ceremonies appear to show that the obstacles to a complete agreement are as solid as ever. John Thorne, BBC News, Belfast.
The Davis Cup tennis match between Britain and the United States is drawing to a climax in Birmingham. Overall, the tie is level after Tim Henman beat Todd Martin this afternoon. It's all come down to the final match between Greg Rosetsky and Jim Courier. At the moment, Rosetsky is losing by 2-1.
This was the day Tim Henman simply had to be at his best, with Britain's Davis Cup hopes resting on his performance against Todd Martin. After the disappointment of losing the first set to the American, Henman fought back to lead 2-1 and saved his best tennis of the match for the vital tiebreak.
That's impossible.
When it came to match point, Henman made no mistake. 7-4 the margin in the tiebreak, and time for celebrations among the crowd of 9,000 at the National Indoor Arena. Henman's victory levelled the tie at 2-all, with the outcome now depending on the final match. Greg Rosetsky faced Jim Courier, fresh from his win over Henman on Friday, and the former world #1 took the first set 6-4. Rosetsky won the second set on a tiebreak, but Courier re-established his superiority by easily winning the third. But Rosetsky is proving that this Davis Cup tie is by no means over, with a stirring performance in the fourth set. A few moments ago, he'd established a convincing lead to test the nerves of the British team. Paul Newman, BBC News.
Indeed, Rosetsky has just levelled the match at 2-all, and you can see the dramatic conclusion live on BBC Two. The England international Robbie Fowler has apologised for his goal celebration during yesterday's game between Liverpool and Everton. After scoring a penalty, he taunted the Everton fans by pretending to snort cocaine on the white line of the penalty box. Anti-drug campaigners condemned his actions, but today he said he deeply regretted his behaviour and the great offence it caused. And in Scotland, Rangers failed to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League after losing 3-1 to St Johnstone at McDiarmid Park. Miguel Simao set up Kieran McAnespie for St Johnstone's third 2 minutes into injury time. The result leaves St Johnstone fourth, 2 points behind Kilmarnock. And the main news tonight, NATO has begun a massive rescue operation for the Kosovo refugees. Some are to be given sanctuary here, in the United States and in other alliance countries. Most will be held in camps close to the border. That's all from the BBC Newsroom tonight. Good night.
Good
evening to you. Tomorrow, like today, it looks like brightest and warmest in the east. A couple of frontal systems, though, to contend with. One bringing rain across the country at the moment, another one heading for Northern Ireland and Scotland later on tomorrow. Here's the rain at the moment. You can see it down that western part of the country, some quite heavy bursts of rain. It moves on out of the way overnight. Clearer skies following along behind. Drizzly rain near the western coast. Another area of rain for later tomorrow, another area of rain for Tuesday morning, again heading across those northwestern areas. So by the end of the night we'll find that band of rain mostly out into the North Sea, just clearing the extreme southeast. Broken cloud following along behind, but not so in the west. I think near western coasts and hills it'll remain cloudy and perhaps a little bit of light rain and drizzle around too, and a mild night virtually everywhere. Now in the morning, although it may well still be a little bit on the cloudy side, or rather on the cloudy side in central and eastern areas, not long before the cloud thins and breaks, the sun pops through. Near these western coasts and hills, they're staying quite cloudy, just a little drizzle here and there too. Also around about lunchtime, some heavier rain moving into Northern Ireland, heading up into Scotland during the afternoon. Quite warm where it brightens up in the east, staying cooler in the west. A band of rain moving down across the country on Tuesday, brighter with showers behind.